Hey, what's going on? So I'm trying my hardest to get some room and space put aside so I can actually start working on some vehicles like private pile. I really want to start working on private pile. I really do. But you know what? When deals pop up, you got to jump on them. You can't jump on deals when they're not there for you. That being said, I'm on my way to go pick up another car. Yeah, you saw that coming. I was getting ready for bed the other night and I got an email notification from Insurance Auto Auctions that one of my watch list vehicles had a buy it now added to it. And I'm like, all right, let me see what this buy it now is. Humor me. And I looked at it and it was a very reasonable buy it now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I scrambled to buy it now, but I had to use a broker. So I had to use Salvage Bid to bid on it. And the buy it now wasn't showing up on their website. So I had to wait like 15 or 20 very anxious minutes waiting for the buy it now to pop up on the Salvage Bid site. And I jumped on that shit. Pardon my French. So
in 600 feet, turn left.
We're here at Insurance Auto Auctions in East Dundee. Yeah, that's right. I didn't have to pay any transport fees this time. That's a win. Trying to pick up this car, so let me see what I gotta do to get this figured out, and I'll get back to you. So if I had to compare Copart to Insurance Auto Auctions, I prefer Insurance Auto Auctions overall. Copart, their website is it's real hard to navigate and use, and they're not very clear with a lot of things, and their pickup process sucks. You need to download an app and schedule an appointment and then show up and wait a really long time, and they won't let you like leave, like go get lunch or something. You gotta just like sit there and wait. Insurance Auto Auctions, their website is actually really user-friendly. It's real easy to navigate. It's not really that confusing. Everything's pretty straightforward. You show up, as long as you got an orange vest, gotta have an orange vest. You show up, you check in with the office, they're like, all right, we'll bring the car out to you. And I don't think I'm gonna wait that long to get the car, so this should go pretty smoothly, I hope. Now that I said that, it won't. I just like Insurance Auto Auctions better than Copart. The staff is friendlier. It's just overall better experience. Now, they gave me a copy of the title. They can't give me the actual title. And interesting, it's a Turo car. It's from Turo Corporate. Weird. Yeah. But so this car popped up, and cops staring at me for some reason. Everybody gets nervous around cops. I don't know why. So this car, I had it on my watch list because I'm like, well, it's local, so I wouldn't have to like pay transport fees to go get it. So I'll keep an eye on it and see where it goes. And the buy now popped up, $1,850. I couldn't not believe it. I was like, wait, what? So it's listed as a no start because they don't have a key for it. There's a chance the engine's damaged, but I don't know. For what I paid, it was just a hair over $3,000 out the door, and I'm gonna be okay on it just parting out like the rest of the car. Besides the engine, I'll do okay. And I just bought this car to part out. I'm not using the drivetrain for anything because I have enough of them, and that probably gave you a hint of what it is. I don't have any good reason to keep another one of these motors around, so I'm just gonna part the thing out. See, and some people ask me sometimes, how do you always find these crazy deals on stuff? And I don't know if this is a crazy deal. I won't know until I get it back to my house and evaluate it. But everybody asks how I find deals on stuff. You know, when they're looking for something, they can never find a deal. I'm like, well, that's the problem. You're trying to find a deal when you're actually looking for something. You can't do it that way. You gotta always have in your head that this stuff is out there, that you're looking. You can't just look for a deal when you want to find a deal, because it won't happen. Well, maybe it does, but it rarely does. See, I have to tell people the same thing with like storage lockers or other resellers, you know, buying inventory. Like, you can't just buy the stuff when you're ready to buy it. Otherwise, you'll always just kind of like do the bare minimum to survive. You got to be ready to buy the stuff when it presents itself to you, not when you're ready for it, because that's when the deals pop up, when you're not actually looking, when you don't need the product, when you don't need the inventory. That's when the deals pop up. When you need the inventory, when you need the product, you're stressing out, and you're gonna be willing to pay more money. Make sense? Makes sense to me. That's why I have so much crap in my warehouse, because I got all of it at the right price. It's just how it is. So when I buy a lot of stuff, I usually sell enough to make my money back and a little profit, and I throw the rest aside, put it on the shelf, and just kind of like, sell it here and there. So basically everything in my warehouse is already paid for. I'm just paying, storage, but I'm not necessarily just paying storage on it. I'm paying storage on everything, and it's a workspace, and so it works out. I assure you, this, it works out. Don't just try to find deals when you're actually looking for said item. You gotta be always on the lookout and always be prepared to jump on deals when they present themselves to you. Hopefully I didn't sound like a rambling mess. All right, wait a few minutes and see if they bring this car out to me. I'll show you what it is. I'm sure you already know what it is by now. I'm sure you know, because I parted out 2 of these in the past year. I just want to add, the reason I'm able to buy these deals when they present themselves is because I buy these deals when they present themselves. Now, it might take a minute to wrap your head around that, but it's true. See, I jump on stuff when it's cheap because I know I can make money on it. So I make money on it, I turn around, and I have the money to buy the deals when they present themselves. See what I'm saying? It works out, I assure you. All right, you guessed what it is. I'm sure you guessed what it is. It's a smashed Mustang. And they robbed the exhaust off of it. I was afraid of that. All right. Get this thing strapped down, I guess. Well, first impressions are, it's about what I expected to see. I couldn't tell in the pictures if it had exhaust on it, but someone stole the catback off of it. It's also missing the shift knob and the battery, so see what happens. This thing cost me, what was it? Yeah, $1,850 plus the fees. It was like $3,000 and like some change. Like not even $3,100. It was literally like $3,007 or some crap out the door. Oh, it's got a good motor. The motor's worth more than that, so we'll find out. It's hit similarly to the white one that I parted out earlier this year, and that one had a totally fine motor in it, so got my fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. All right, I got somewhere else I gotta stop, and we'll give this thing a better once over once I get home. Never a dull moment in my life. So I had to stop and pay for a storage locker I won, and I get a notification on my camera at home, and I'm looking, and there's a cop walking up to my front door. I'm like, great, what's this about? Try calling my sister because she's there, because she works for me, and she didn't answer. And then she calls me back, somebody wasn't paying attention and they're speeding, and they ran the stop sign and they ran into her car. They pushed it back about 30 feet into one of my cars at the end of my driveway. Looks like they totaled her car, probably totaled their car in the process. It's just ridiculous. I'm getting tired of all this crap. And now I get to the storage facility to pay for this locker and nobody's there. So I try to back out onto a busy, basically it's almost like a highway, busy road, like a 4-lane road. Like 4 lanes either direction. And she just sent me pictures of my car. Can't wait to look at them. All right, yeah. Ooh, that ain't good. Is this because I'm towing a smashed Mustang? Is the Mustang's, oh, another one. Is the Mustang's energy just, you know, getting dispersed into the world at this point? I don't know. Crazy. I'll show you a picture where the car ended up at, and it ended up about 18 inches away from the Galaxy. This rock actually stopped the car from getting pushed into my car, so grateful for that. A little bit of damage out front in the yard here, but yeah, it's pretty not okay, but luckily it happened when it was parked, not when she was driving it, so there's that. And the guy did stop and he had insurance, so we'll see how this plays out. And here's the Mustang. I jumped ahead and hooked the jump pack up to it. As you can tell, it's got power, the headlight's on. Actually, that headlight, it's not okay. I thought maybe the headlight was still okay, but it's not. It definitely got hit pretty good. Not gonna lie. It's supposed to be over here. First glance, walk around it real quick. Show you what I could sell off of it. Looks like all 4 wheels and tires are in great shape, actually. Yeah, real good tread on the tires all the way around. They're Goodyears too. I don't know if those are stock for this car or not. I'm not positive, but they don't look bad. But like I said, all 4 are actually in great shape. Even the rears are in good shape, and they got full shred as far as I'm concerned. I saved these off of the other cars. I only sold 1 set, so they're not huge money makers, but there is some money in the rocker covers because those are the painted ones. Got a good passenger door. Little nick there, but that's a good door. A couple $100. It's got a good mirror. Does not have the premium interior, unfortunately, but so not a ton of value in those door panels. Not a ton of value in the cloth seats. If I had the driver's seat, yes, but it's got the airbags blown out. So learned the hard way. Oh, not really the hard way. I just learned that passenger seat and these aren't worth too much. HVAC controls I can sell. Steering wheel I can sell. Gauge cluster I can sell. Trying to think what else. Somebody was in here rummaging around at the auction. They pulled everything out of the trunk. I imagine it's the same person that stole the shift knob off of it. Rear quarters are good, but not worth me trying to save. Rear bumper cover actually looks to be in great shape. That's probably $200-300. Both taillights are good. $1.25, $1.50 a piece. Trunk looks good except for this. I'm not sure why they did that. I can't figure it out because I have the fascia. Oh, I think they had an aftermarket fascia on it. I wonder if they put a. I wonder if they hacked it up to put a backup camera in it. That's what I'm thinking. Somebody's. This car had some aftermarket stuff on it, and somebody took the aftermarket stuff off of it. So it's is what it is. Spoiler's in good shape. I bet you I can get $100 out of that trunk lid, especially if somebody's looking to put a backup camera in their trunk lid. There, it's already got a hole in it. Spoiler's in good shape. Again, back bumper covers looks to be in great shape. Again, all the wheels, tires look to be great. I think it's got both of these on there. It's got a little bit of value. Again, it's not a premium door panel, so not a ton of value there. Steering wheel's not terrible, probably $100 on that. Seat track, as long as the seat works, the seat track works, all the power functions work on it, it's about a $250 piece right there. Not too much else going on in the interior. See, I already took a couple of these apart, so I know what is worth taking and isn't worth taking. Rear axle, I checked, it's got a 3:31 ratio. Looks like that rear end's selling pretty good. I think I should be able to get $700 or $800 out of the rear end, hub to hub, or however you want to call it. So that's a good score. Looks like it's got a part of an aftermarket exhaust on it, like catback, but it's missing the tips. So I'm not sure what's going on underneath there. Trans, it's got a manual trans. As long as the trans is good, I think I get about $1,000 a piece out of those, as long as they're good. I think that's what I got for the last couple I sold. Driver's door. Not so much on the driver's door. It's maybe you can straighten it out. Good PDR guy could probably straighten that out, maybe. Probably not. Fortunately, neither fender is good. Hood is not good. It does have, I just noticed, a Ford Performance hood strut kit. That's a good, I don't know, I imagine I get $100 out of them. They gotta be worth that, right? And the engine. From what I could tell, this car's got about 80,000 miles on it. So if you look, the engine's actually sitting where it's supposed to be sitting. It's not pushed back and it's not pushed side to side. Core support and everything is pushed up into the accessories, so I'm going to have to peel all that back to get a better look at everything. Engine has good, clean, full oil in it, so I don't think they ran it out of oil after the accident, because it looks okay. It looks like they just, obviously, the vehicle was shut off after the accident, and that was it. So cross my fingers on that. This motor mount looks totally fine. What I discovered on these cars is the factory motor mounts are really weak and they like shatter on impact, which is good because you want the motor mount to shatter and not the block. This side looks totally fine because it looks like the passenger side took the brunt of the force. As you can tell, it's pretty screwed up over here, but there is some pinched wiring, but none of it looks severed. And important part why you should get nervous on these Mustangs, the front impacts, especially the front on the passenger side, is that's where the ECM is located along with the fuse box. I hooked the jump pack up to it. Nothing's smoky, nothing's smoldering, nothing's making me think that any wires are grounding out. I could get a jumper wire at the relay and, you know, see if the motor spins over, but I'm not going to do that right now. It does have a broken oil cap, but it doesn't look... See, I don't see any damage to the valve cover. And the engine's not pushed back, which makes me think that the damage has stopped here. So that totally means I'm going to fix this car. No, I'm not fixing this car. This car is getting torn apart. And I don't need any more Coyote motors. So this thing is getting parted out so I can make money on it. This is my only objective buying this car, is to make some cash. so I could spend it on other vehicles. So I'm gonna have to get a key made because the key's missing. That's probably gonna be about 150 bucks, I think. That's what I spent on the last one I had to do. So I'm trying to get a key made and get this damage pulled away from the front of it and see if I got a good motor here. I'm leaning towards yes, that I do have a good motor, just based on the damage I see and what's broken and what isn't broken. I'm pretty confident this engine is going to start and run just fine. Yeah, now that I said that, it won't, but the day that I'm having and the week that I'm having, it won't. But all right, well, I guess I will see you guys after I get some damage pulled away from this motor and try and get a key made. So if I get a key made, well, I'll try and start this thing together. I almost wonder if I could take one of the other engine control modules I have with its matching key and put it in here. But those both have tunes on them for blowers, so I don't know if I want to mess with doing that. Alright, well, I'll figure it out. See you guys in a bit here. Well, I apologize. I got carried away and I forgot you guys. I was having fun without you. I'm sorry. This used to be over here. Kind of pulled out a little bit. I mean, you couldn't even fit like anything back here. It was like tight. So I've got a locksmith coming to try to make a key for this thing. So I figured I should pull some stuff away from the motor in case I decide to, you know, try and do things. And well, I forgot to show you guys what I was doing. Body repair, man. Perfect. I wish it went more that way instead of down, but I mean, now I can get in there and get to things, maybe even get the radiator out. I'm gonna hook it up on that side and see if I can do things a little better. I don't know. Give me a minute. That's better for now. And then I'll see if I can maybe sneak this radiator out of here and have a better look at the front of the motor. Still not seeing any real damage to speak of yet. Back in a few here. Alright, get a little bit further. Gotta get a new blade. Much better. So the engine appears to be okay at first glance, which is good. I like this. I don't see anything wrong with the engine per se. If you look all the way down there, you can point to it, all the way down there. You guys see that? That cross member is bent and touching the crankshaft, the crank pulley. So I might have to try and pull that out or bend it or something before I can try to start the motor. But besides that, I don't see any obvious signs of damage on the engine itself, which is freaking awesome. I'm gonna see if I can pull that away from the crank pulley right now. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is now, that cross member is now off of the crank pulley. It's no longer pressed up against it, so we're good. I can fit my hand in there. I can fit my hand underneath it. It's not pushing up against it. We're good. All right. Now, just gotta wait for the locksmith. See how this goes. You know, keep in mind, just because a car is listed as having a key in an auction doesn't mean it really does have one. Well, this one was listed as not having one, so you need to add that to your expenses and be prepared for the car to show up without a key too. But got a key. 200 bucks to have it cut and programmed. Got lucky, nobody ever swapped the ignition cylinder out on this car. Threw a community battery in it, and well, I already know what it does and doesn't do. Well, I'll show you guys what it does and doesn't do. Oh, I almost twisted my ankle there. Come on. There we go. First things first. I wonder how many miles are on this thing. $80,423. I was thinking it had about 80,000 miles on it, so right on the money. Clutch pedal's all the way down. Can't really tell if it's in neutral or not. Oh, there we go. Now it's in neutral. See, I don't hear. I don't hear the fuel pump kicking on, so I wonder if it's got a inertia switch on it. But cranks over. Motor sounds fine too. Well, it sounds consistent. All right, I'll take another look at it for a few minutes. See if maybe it's got a inertia switch on it. I know the old school Fords did. I don't know if these do or not. All right, give me a few minutes. Found it, I think. Hey, it's right inside here. Somewhere, I might have to pull this panel off, but it should be right there. Give me a minute here. Maybe I didn't found it. I don't see anything in there. I just see those two connectors. Huh. Because I don't hear the fuel pump kicking on. So I would assume that's what's going on here. I'll have to do some researching. But now I gotta run to the warehouse because I'm getting another vehicle dropped off. I gotta stop this. I need like a intervention or something. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't start it. That's new. I have to figure out where that's coming from. Yeah, that's not good. Alrighty then. Alright, so I got somewhere. Pulled the radiator and condenser off. Well, it's not all I did. I figured out where the oil leak is, and we're gonna try and fix it. I still haven't heard this engine run. See the oil filter right there? Yeah. Oil filter was compromised, to say the least. It's mostly because of this cross member, which I believe sway bar mounts to. So I'm gonna see what I can do to get that cross member out of the way right now, because if I don't, I can't replace the oil filter, because the sway bar bushing is now occupying the space where the oil filter needs to go. So let's see if we can take care of that, so I can try to start this thing again, I guess. All right, it wasn't fun, but I think I got all these bolts out for this cross member. I had some trouble with this one. This cross member is pinched right here, so some finagling. I got it out. Now I need to see if I get this cross member out of here. So far so good. Get that side out maybe. Come Come on, you can do it. Here, maybe. Come on, you can do it. All right, that's off. Something hold me up over here. What is it? There we go. Out. Add that to the pile. One step closer to trying to start this car. And now the sway bar's still. There we go. Never mind, sway bar's out of the way. So now I can replace that oil filter. I hope. Oh, there we go. You can actually see the seal like sticking out of it. I'm not sure if I have a filter here for it or not. Hopefully it's the same that's on my truck. Or what was on my old Transit, is I know I have filters for that. Anyone know offhand? It's a 3.5 and a 6.2 use the same filter as a 5.0. I'll find out, I guess. Oh, that thing's all screwed up. Alright, see if I have a filter. Be right back. Just like I thought, 3.5 EcoBoost is the same as a 5.0. Had one of those left over from my Transit that I traded in a couple years ago. Well, sold. Then traded and I sold it and bought the Super Duty. Got that on, primed it with some oil. Now hook the jumper back up and make sure it's not leaking any more oil, I guess. Right? Yes? Maybe? How about it? You guys gonna hang out and make sure it's not leaking any more oil for me? Leaking any more oil? No? No more oil? Well, that's a good thing. Still don't start, but it's not leaking any oil. I still don't think the fuel pump's kicking on. Fuel pump might also be bad from sitting, because apparently this car sat at the auction for over a year. As previously mentioned, I don't have any starting fluid here. Really need to pick some up. Keep forgetting. Or just bring some home from the warehouse. I did do some digging. Found some S&S carbon choke cleaner. Extremely flammable. Let's see, we give this a shot. Let's go. What do you think? It's gonna do something? I hope so. I think that would have done something, right? Anything? I wonder what else is wrong. It's got no spark and no fuel. What's going on? Back to the... I hear an animal. Back to the drawing board, I suppose. I'm gonna give it a good once over and see if there's anything that's pinched or disconnected or broken, or see if I can figure this out. Because from my understanding, even if the key wasn't programmed correctly, it shouldn't crank over at all. So let me do some digging and searching and see what I can come up with. Oh, you guys sit tight and I'll be right back. I found a bit fuse. I found a bit fuse. Number 40, which is the powertrain control module. A smoking gun. Alright. Alright, are we taking bets on whether this thing's gonna fire up or not? What do you think? Think it'll fire now? Still nothing. Still nothing. I don't know what it could be. I don't know what it could be. I do wonder if that fuse blew again though. Was this one? It did. It did blow. So it's probably why it's not starting. Guess we're gonna have to figure out why that fuse is blowing. All right, I'm gonna have to look some stuff over and see what I'm overlooking, I guess. Might not be able to get back to this tomorrow. We'll see. For the record, it's not like, you know, it's blowing for no good reason, because obviously it's blowing for a good reason. So I'm gonna spend 5-10 minutes looking over this thing and see if I can find any pinched or broken wires, and we'll go from there. All right, well, right off the bat, saw this sensor. It's a little screwed up, but it's still together. But I did find this. Not sure what it is, where it goes, but definitely has some wiring issues. A couple of these were actually touching, so I wondered if maybe that's why the fuse was blowing. Not sure where those go or what they do. I'll have to do some searching to figure that out. Wonder if I could rob that off of the other car I took apart. All right, keep looking. So that plug, whatever it is the only real issue I see. I want to pop another fuse in there and see if it still does it. Probably does, because I did pull a couple of those wires away from each other, so maybe, just maybe that has something to do with it. We'll see. Well, it didn't blow yet. It'll probably wait until I turn the key. We'll see, right? If this don't work, then I'm calling it quits for tonight. Figure out what that harness is for. Nope. How much you want to bet that fuse is blown now? I'm probably overlooking something, and you guys probably know what it is, so just start yelling at me through the screen, okay? Well, that's all I could do tonight. We'll double check and see if this fuse blew. I'm gonna say it didn't. Nope, did not blow that time. So I'm going to try and look tonight and see if I can figure out what that pigtail controls. And just my luck, it's probably like the injector harness or something along those lines, or coils or something. So, and I'll take a look tomorrow at my warehouse and see if I still have the engine bay harness out of the 13 or the 14 that I took apart, and see if I can put something together here. So I'd really like to hear this run. I've got testimony from previous owner that the car ran completely fine up until the accident, and judging by everything I've seen, the car stopped running at the accident. It was never started again. Obviously it stopped running because, yeah. So I'm pretty confident it's a good motor. It's got good oil pressure. We know that much. Crank it over, it sounds fine. Oh, I'm confident it's a good motor. I just love to hear it run, wouldn't you? All right, today is the day. I swear, I hope. I robbed Pigtail off the harness I had at the warehouse. I'm gonna try to splice it in and see if that's why this thing won't start. All right, I know, crimp connectors, I know. Just tear me a new one right now. It's just temporary because I need to be able to put this pigtail back on the other harness if need be. So let me hook the jump back up and see if it does things now. So what do you guys think? Is it gonna do things? It did things. Make sure it was leaking. I don't see anything leaking. Nothing leaking, all good. Motor sounds totally fine. Got a good running 80,000 mile first gen Coyote with a MT82 trans. $3,000 from $3,000 all in from Insurance Auto Auctions. I'm cool with that. Motor and trans by itself right now with the ECM, they're selling for about $6,000 with those miles. So double my money back on just the motor and trans. I'm good with that. I've got probably another 2,500, maybe $3,000 worth of parts left over. I'm cool with that. All right, let me put all this stuff away. So yeah, I was able to reach out to the previous owner of the car, like I said earlier, just basically to see if he had keys for it, but he didn't. He said all that was surrendered over to the insurance company. So I'm assuming the keys were stolen at the auction, as happens a lot actually. Like that one other car I had that showed up missing the keys. I just got a message. So that antique crane that I showed you guys in one of the other videos, I had someone make me a pretty serious offer on it. Like they saw it in one of my Facebook posts, and they sent me an offer, and I was like, I don't know, man. Let me think about it. Well, they upped their offer, and then I was like, man, you really got me thinking about it. And let's put it this way: it was an offer I couldn't refuse. And I just paid my one buddy some cash to go deliver it to me. So it has a new home in Madison, Wisconsin, with a very enthusiastic collector. Oh, he seems really happy about it. I just got a text from my buddy saying that he dropped it off and everything's good to go. So awesome, good to hear that. back to the car. I talked to the previous owner, like I said, Vince or Vincent, I believe your name was. You'll probably see this because I'm sending you a link to this video, but you'd mentioned you can't wait to see the car back on the road. Well, I'll show you why the car is not going to go back on the road, and I'm sorry to, you to see your baby like this, but I'm assuming you got hit from this direction here, like somebody came from this direction over, because show you that rail was actually folded in like a 90. I pulled all that out. This was pushed all the way up to here pretty much. This rail is pushed back and over to the right side of the car. And I'll show you just how bad it is. Unfortunately, there's really no fixing this car. That motor mount is broken. This one right here, that one's broken, which is okay. Like these motor mounts are, I think they're designed that way so they break. You can see just how bad this rail is. It's supposed to be facing the camera pretty much, and it's not. It's over here and it's pushed back. You can see up under here, it's actually pushed back at the floor pan. It's really bad. Like there really was no fixing this car. Even the suspension K member, the welds are broken on it. Unfortunately, there was no fixing this car. It is definitely a total loss, but its heart and soul will live on to, beat in another vehicle, and that's the important part, right? And I'll tell you what, man, this is probably a good looking car in this day. You sent me a couple pictures of how it looked, and it was a good looking car. It looked real good with them other wheels and tires on it. See, I had a feeling someone switched the wheels and tires on this thing. I don't know why, but I did, mostly because this tire doesn't have any scuff marks or anything on it, and I'm like, it just didn't seem right to me. I'm like, somebody switched these wheels and tires at least, and not sure why, but I had a feeling that it had Brembos on it before. And after you sent me those pictures, it pretty much confirmed it. And I'm not upset with you, man. You did all of that before it went up for auction. And to tell you the truth, I would have done the exact same thing if I was in the same position. So I was more worried that someone swapped a motor or something, but nope, the motor's fine, totally fine. So, and the reason it was idling so funky is, well, the mass air sensor is gone because it was attached to the airbox. I assume the airbox just got destroyed. So it is what it is. But there we go. Deals are still out there. No start, no run car from Insurance Auto Auctions. Well, spend a little time on it. It might actually start and run. Yeah, 80,000 mile first gen Coyote, manual trans, $3 grand. I'm not arguing with that. So we picked a nice windy day to do this, but I'm gonna try to get the car off the trailer. I'm gonna see if it'll drive off the trailer under its own power. I got a borrowed airbox with mass air sensor to see if this thing will actually idle on its own. We'll see. We'll see. Yet to be determined. And oh my God! What happened to the car? What'd you do to it?
Not that much damage.
Keys in the shifter boot, I think. All right. Go back inside, all right? All the way over and back, I believe? Or all the way over and forward? Alright, well, we're not driving it off the trailer. Apparently the shifter's effed. Okie dokie. We got it in here. And wouldn't you know it, I can fit 2 cars in here now. And well, found this one on Marketplace for 1,500 bucks. I didn't need a new starter. And well, I hooked the jump pack up to it and the starter works absolutely fine. So it doesn't have a working fuel pump, but the starter is definitely working. It's a 90 GT convertible. Got some extra fuel rails in there. It's an auto, unfortunately, but this is strictly going to be a parts car. It's a little on the rough side. It's got some welds on it though. I'm not going to bore everybody with taking apart another one of these unless you want me to. I mean, if you really want me to, I will, but I'm not going to bore everybody. It's got some rust in the strut towers. I didn't even look underneath it yet, but it's got this crazy like marble looking paint job. I don't know if you can see that or not. Like yeah, it's like marbleized. It's crazy. It does have a decent set of drag lights on it. The drag radials on the back. Pretty decent interior. I thought it was funny. The guy's like, yeah, it's got a letter cam in it and 24-pound injectors. Well, it's got orange top 19-pound injectors in it for sure, without a doubt. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it does not have a letter cam in it. He also said it had a 9L computer laying on the floor that he was gonna swap into it. Well, that doesn't look like any Mustang ECM I ever saw. It looks more like a Honda ECM. And it does say 9L on it actually, so I'll give them that. It does say 9L, but I think these numbers come back to like a Honda Civic SI, like a 1.6 liter, so that is definitely not for this car. So, but yeah, I was able to make enough room in here this past week by putting up another section of pallet racking that I almost filled up. So I actually have some more room to work on stuff in here. I'm actually picking up more pallet racking to put up on the other side over there against that wall, so I can try to clear up this whole entire strip of space so I can actually work on vehicles in here in the winter, which is coming up very soon. So I need to take it easy for a couple days though, because while I was putting up pallet racking, I had someone here help me Monday and we just got the uprights up basically. But Tuesday I put up these 2 full like rows of shelves up by myself, and the floor is uneven in here. So yeah, that's a juvenile Jesus next to some mushrooms. Yeah, it's pretty sweet, I know. But I was putting this upright up. Well, I was putting this, I think it was this beam in on this upright, and I had to like torque the upright, I think it was. And I just used brute strength and I messed up something like over here somewhere. And I'm really feeling it like yesterday and today. So that was Tuesday and today's Sunday. So it waited a few days at least to really affect me. I was able to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Well, the rest of Tuesday and then through Friday basically, until it really started to bother me. But I think I'm gonna have to take it easy for a few days at least, which is it's not like me to have to do that. It really aggravates me. But yeah, got that done this week, and I need to go pick up the rest of the pallet racking to put up on the other side, and then I should be able to get this place in order. And I'm going to try to get a little bit brighter lighting in here too, so I can, you know, actually see what I'm doing in here. But yeah, this one's strictly going to be another parts car. It's a little beat up. The last chassis, the red one, went to VCOR, VEHCOR, because he's been rebuilding these cars left and right. And honestly, this one will probably end up going his way too after I'm done with it. So I need to go check on my buddy because he's trying to load this truck by himself. So I'll be right back. All right, got all that squared away. That Coyote with 2011 F-150 I bought at auction, I sold it to my buddy for basically what I had into it because he wants to do a Coyote swap. And I was totally fine with that because, you know, sometimes it's not about making money. Anywho, this will probably be the next one I take apart. I might wait a little while on this one just because I'll make more money taking this one apart than I will that one. And I need to replenish some of the money I've been spending lately. So there's more money sitting here than there is here. How do you like that sweet intake setup, huh? That looked pretty cool on there, right? Right? Anywho, I found this on Marketplace. It's for a Y-Block Ford. Came with like 10 extra carburetors. It's crazy. Anywho, yeah, I'll be busy getting this place straightened out though, for the most part, in the next couple weeks. And probably giving my, whoever the heck it is I injured, a chance to heal. It hurts bad, like right in here. Might even have to go see a doctor. That's not like me to see a doctor. I usually just try to muscle through things, even if it's a muscle. But I'm getting somewhere in here, so that's all that matters. I was gonna put the top up on this one and park it outside, but it's not gonna look any better sitting out there like this, so never mind about that. Trunk looks actually in good shape. Oh, it hurts to reach my arm out like this. I'm not even joking. I reach my arm out like this and it hurts. And it's not my arm or my shoulder it hurts. It's like all in here. Oh, I don't know. I might use, I gotta see what gear is in this thing, because I might use that rear end in the blue LTD now, because the one I took out of the red car, wherever it is, so no, it's over there. I gotta check what gear ratio is in there, because if that just has like a 273 or something, I might be better off with the one in here, because the automatic cars usually had like a 308 or a 327 gear. So I'm gonna check that real quick. So if I look on the door tag of this thing, stick myself in here, should be able to tell me axle code. Where are you? Axle code M right there. So let me get on the old interwebs here. 1990 Mustang axle codes. Did a quick little search here. See if it shows M. M is 273. Damn. Unfortunately, this has a 273 in it, I believe. Auto cars had 273 standard and 327 optional. Yep. Unfortunately, it's a 273 gear, which I didn't want to hear. So unless somebody changed it, it's got a 273 in it. I'll get underneath it to make sure. Like, actually shine a light on there and see if it still has a tag on it. Whether or not it has a tag on is usually a good indication whether or not somebody changed the gear. But let me get set up here in a second. I'll show you how to measure the gear ratio if you don't have a tag. Try to do this the best I can because it pains me just to bend over like this right now. But what you want to do is take a piece of chalk or soapstone or whatever. You want to mark up here, like the center. Doesn't really have to be the center, but as long as you have a mark there, that's good enough for me. All right. And then you also want to mark over here, either end. So that's the important part. Spin the axle and make sure the other axle's spinning at the same speed, whether it's backwards or forwards, because if it's got like a dragging brake or something, it'll affect your results. It really will. So what you want to do is spin it, and you want to count how many times the pinion spins for every one time the axle spins. So I'm going to watch the pinion. It's 1, it's 2, 3, and look, there's still trying to guess. It's not quite a quarter. See, a quarter would be like down here, and it's like right here. So it's like an eighth, probably like an eighth. So actually, I'm doing it wrong. I gotta measure that. So that was 3. This one went around one time. All right. And I gotta see where that's at over here. I don't know where it's at. Where's it at over here? I have to keep an eye on it. Half. So this is awesome. This is good news. So I had a feeling that this one had a different gear in it because the tag was missing. So the pinion moved 3.5 times for every one time that the axle turns. So that means this has a 350 gear in it, which is awesome. So I'm definitely going to use this one in the blue LTD squad car. So that's good to know. I'm pretty happy with that. This got 350 gears in it. So sorry, I did a little wrong there at first, but you get the idea now, right? So pretty much put a mark here, and let's just go slow and steady. Turn this one complete revolution and just count how many times this spun around. So the white mark on the pinion is going to be like right here, and it's slightly past center, so it's going to be 355 gears. If it ended up here, it'd be 373, and if it ended up like right here, it'd be like 410. So keep your eye on this spot right here, like right here, I think it is, and you'll see the white mark. And there it is. So this has 355 gears in it. I'm happy with that. All right, I'm gonna go take it easy for the next day, seeing how tomorrow's Indigenous Peoples Day. Am I saying that right now? I hope so. And I'm gonna take it easy because my whatever it is hurts really bad. And this guy's staring at me over here. If you missed my video on that, that is a early 90s Roush C3 NASCAR motor. I still haven't decided what I'm doing with that. I don't know if I'm selling it or keeping it. So I like to put it in something, but man, is it gonna be rowdy. All right, well, thanks for watching, and I'll try to get you some more actual content going, I promise. And we'll see you then. I do have one trip planned in about 3 weeks, going to see Silas again. I don't know if I'm gonna make it into a video yet or not. It's just gonna be like a turn and burn type deal because I don't have a lot of time lately, especially for long trips. So I might just have enough time to get there and pick up what I'm picking up and turn it around. Unfortunately, I wanted to do like a road trip video, like actually get what I'm picking up running and drive it back, but I just don't have time for that right now, unfortunately. So all right, well, see everybody later. Thanks for watching.